What's good, y'all? It's your boy J Strike 3000, and Guilty Gear is old. Okay, maybe not like old, but like it's getting up there. It's starting to get up there. You have to imagine that Arc System Works is working on their next game, right? And a lot of people are speculating that their next game is going to be a sequel to Dragon Ball FighterZ, but instead of Dragon Ball, using some other franchise. Oh, I don't know, something that's like highly rated, multi-million-dollar earning, like battle shonen, preferably from Jump Comics. I'm talking about One Piece. It's One Piece. I'm talking about One Piece. One Piece Fighters. Even if Arc System Works doesn't make it, somebody has to make it. It would make $1 billion. One Piece is hot right now. It's hot, and it's been keeping me up at night. If a One Piece game came out right now, what would be the roster for a One Piece game? Think of all the characters in One Piece. You have to cut down everybody. Only a madman would try to build a roster for a One Piece game. That is why I tried to build a roster for a One Piece game. So here's my character select screen, my expertly made character select screen for a One Piece fighting game. All right, I tried to start with the same base roster as FighterZ did. I think I do have like 1 or 2 extra characters for like DLC and stuff, but we're gonna start with base roster. We're just gonna start with base roster. All right, we're gonna take our time with this. So who's on the roster, you may ask? Well, I'll tell you. All of the Straw Hats. All the Straw Hats are making it in. So Luffy, Zoro, Nami, Usopp, Sanji, Chopper, Robin, Frankie, Brook, Jinbei. They're all in. They're all in, they're all here. As you can probably see, basically half the roster is just Straw Hat Pirates. But they're all so different and unique and have so much like moveset potential though. You can't not have them in the roster. I'm not even gonna waste our time here. What are we doing? What do we do? We got other characters to make the roster, all right? Other characters like the next Straw Hat. We're already at our first controversial pick. You may be sitting there wondering, what is Vivi gonna do? She don't fight nobody. Well, she did that one time with the little things. For the rest of her moveset, I think you could add Karu in there. You can do some bird attacks. They got bird moves you can throw in there. You know, you can make something up for Vivi. Honestly, I think Vivi's gonna play a much larger part in the role of One Piece later on. We just haven't came to that yet, which is why I'm putting her in the roster. I'm anticipating bigger things for Vivi in the story. That's gonna be my justification for Vivi making it on the roster right now, all right? Next up, my Pirate King personally, Buggy the Clown. You're not having a One Piece fighting game without Buggy the Clown. What are we doing? What are we talking about? Base roster, that's the GOAT. Next is Ace. It's Ace. It's Ace. Think of the moveset potential for Ace. Incredible. Incredible. That's a Luffy's brother. Next up, Akainu. One of the big bads of the story. One of the big bads of the story. The other big bad being, of course, Blackbeard. They're like some of the most important villains in the show. I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to say. Next up, we got Kuzan. More admirals. He's had a lot of screen time. He has a good moveset potential. And yeah, that's it. That's all I'm gonna say. That's a lot of these earlier picks are like kind of obvious. There's not really much to debate about this. Like, it's Kuzan. Next, you got Doflamingo. One of the most popular One Piece characters there is. Everybody loves Doflamingo. One of the swaggiest characters on One Piece. He might just get in off of his fit alone. All right, next one is a controversial one. I'm tagging in Smoker. I'm tagging in Smoker. He has great moveset potential. He's relevant pre-time skip, post-time skip. And honestly, I threw Smoker in just because I want to see more of Smoker. I want to see more of him. What is he even doing right now? I don't even know. Next up, everyone's other favorite villain of One Piece is Crocodile, the other drippiest character in One Piece. Crocodile and Doflamingo are sure things for the base roster of a fighting game. Come on, let's be for real. Next up is Rob Lucci. Look, before Egghead, I was gonna be like, I don't know. Like, Rob Lucci hasn't really done anything. He hasn't been like too significant, but showing back up in Egghead with like new power set too, I feel like the moveset could be cold. I feel like the hybrid leopard form install super would go crazy. Would go crazy to me. Next up, Boa Hancock. That's Boa Hancock. Hold on. Walk with me here. You know how fighting games make money? Outfits. You know who buys outfits? Weirdos. You give Boa Hancock 50 outfits, this game's gonna make money forever. Next up, Bartholomew Kuma. Kuma recently become one of my favorite characters of all of One Piece. One of the most important characters in One Piece, actually. And then lastly, the last spot. Who else is the most popular character in One Piece? Off of popularity alone. I'll tell you who. It's Law. It's Law. He's too clean. He's too nice. That's gonna be a very weird moveset. That's gonna be a very strange moveset on that character right there. He's gonna have a room install and it's gonna be stupid. And there you have it. That's the base roster of the game. The game comes out, bam. This is what the character select screen is. Well, bam, bam. These are who I think the most important characters to have on the base roster. All right, I will say maybe Vivi is the most questionable one on here, but I'm gonna stand on it because I'm awesome. Y'all can let me know how y'all feel on the base roster right now to see who should be switched out with whom, who's more important to who, or do you agree? But while y'all do that, let's talk about DLC. With the first DLC being Kobe. Kobe is in the game. Honestly, y'all notice what I did there. Honestly, I do think with some of the recent stuff we've seen with Kobe, I think he now has a potential for a moveset. I think you can make up this stuff for the rest of his moveset based on what we've seen so far in the anime and the manga. I think you could do some really cool and interesting stuff with Shave. I think Kobe has potential to be a character in this fighting game. A couple chapters ago, I would have said, hell no. Kobe's never done anything significant before. But no spoilers, but I've seen some stuff and Kobe kind of looking nice. He's looking nice enough to be a part of the roster. Next up is Mihawk. Next up is Dracula Mihawk DLC. I put on DLC because we haven't really seen him do much. I think he's very important to the story of One Piece, especially for Zoro's storyline going through, but we just haven't seen a lot of him. There's enough that you can make a moveset. You can just make some stuff up. I don't know how much Arc System Works or whoever would be working on this hypothetical fighting game would be willing to make up a moveset for Mihawk, because that's a lot of making up you have to do. Next up is Kizaru. Probably the swaggiest admiral. Now that Kizaru has finally shown his face, we have some name and tags from him. We know how he fights. We know what he do. Throw him in the game. Next up, I'm gonna be honest with you. Next up is Sabo. I'm not a huge Sabo fan, but it's very clear that they're setting him up for something much larger in the story. He's the Flame Emperor. You're gonna be asking, like, how do you make him different than Ace? I think he can still do stuff with that stick on his back. I think he could do stuff with the Dragon Claw technique. You can do different fire moves than Ace. I think Sabo has enough in his kit to be different than Ace, is what I'm saying, even though they both have the same fruit. Next up is Fujitora. I think he could do some cool gravity stuff with his moveset. Don't ask me what specifically, I don't know, but I can picture it in my brain. My only job is figuring out the roster. The game developers can do the rest. The game developers can do the hard part, all right? Next up, controversial pick, crazy ass pick. You're gonna hate me for this. I'm putting Carrot on the board. Carrot. I feel like Carrot has enough in her kit to have a moveset potential for a fighting game, but the main reason I put her on this is because a Sunlong install super would go crazy. Next up is Green Bull. I feel like he literally just got here, but he's an admiral, so come on now. Also, Big Tree. He turns into Big Tree, guys. Come on. Next up is Captain Kid. I'm gonna be honest, I don't like Kid. I am not a Kid fan. However, I feel like if you have Law, you need to also have Kid in the game. Also, magnetism powers for a moveset, we already know is a good idea. We already know that's a good idea. Next up, we got Garp. It's Garp. It's Garp. Garp would go stupid. Garp would go crazy. I don't even need to explain myself. You know Garp is in this game, and you know he's gonna go crazy. You know he's gonna go stupid. That's all I have to, that's the Garp section. Then next up you have Killer. I think you could do something really cool with those Razor Blade things. All right, with them scythes. When it comes to the story of One Piece, though, he might be a lot less significant than the other rest of the cast. I'm gonna be real with you. I just like Killer's design for real. He's a cool ass guy. This is one of the more debatable, like it's really up in the air who you want to have over here. As well as Enel. I pick Enel because his moveset potential is foolish. His moveset potential would go crazy, but you can really put like, I don't want to spoil the rest of the roster over here, but you can really put any other one-off major arc villains right here, like Gecko Moria or Arlong. You need like an arc villain that I wanted to add over here, and I just picked Enel. I think Enel's the coolest. Next up, controversial pick, I know. It's Kinemon. Listen to me. Kinemon has been with the Straw Hats since Punk Hazard. He has been here for a long time, all right? And I think it would be cool if you had a traditional samurai swordsman in this game that also has fire attacks on it. You can even add the rest of the scabbards to the like a super or something where they all come out and they do an attack. I think that would be really cool. I think that would be really cool. Arc System Works, hire me. I'm kind of a genius at this. Then next up you got Katakuri. Katakuri is one of the coolest characters in the show. Other than like the mochi attacks, I think you could have like a future sight mechanic where like it's like a counter almost, or he like predicts what you're gonna do and counter attacks. That would be cool. He would be like the Ultra Instinct of the game. I'm already making parallels with the Dragon Ball game. I'm kind of a genius for that. Then we have another controversial pick. All right, hang with me here. I got Yamato on the roster. All right, I'm anticipating bigger things for Yamato. I feel like she has enough named attacks in the manga. She has an alternate form she could turn into for a super, and I'm expecting larger things for her in the future. Okay, we're getting down to the we're really doing it. Next up, Marco the Phoenix. Marco. Honestly, if I got to choose a double fruit to have in real life, it might be Marco's. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's one of the coolest powers in the whole show. But I think it would be very annoying for a fighting game. Regeneration would go stupid. Think about a regenerating character in a fighting game. Would you believe that? A character that can heal themselves in like a fight, and that would go crazy. That would go stupid. I don't even think Arc System Works would do that. Marco does have a pineapple head, so I'm gonna put him in the roster. That is true. Next up, we got a controversial pick. Can you believe it? I can't believe it. Another controversial pick. I keep having them. With this few spaces on the roster, you gotta get controversial. For this next spot, I'm putting Perona. Why Perona, you saying? I can hear you through your screen. You're saying, why did I pick Perona? I will refer to you to the Boa Hancock clause. The costumes would go crazy. Also, she's very popular for some reason. And I feel like the ghost moves might do something cool. You could come up with something cool for the ghost moves. All right, y'all see these last 5 spots? These last 5 spots go stupid. These are like the last 5 DLC spots for a One Piece game. So they need to be big and they need to go crazy. And what's crazier than the 4 emperors? We got Whitebeard, we got Shanks, we got Big Mom, we got Kaido. Listen, you may be saying to yourself, those are some big ass characters. How are you gonna have Big Mom, Whitebeard, Kaido in the same game as Chopper? What's going on? What's the scale? But I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't need it to be 1-to-1 proportional with the actual sizes of the character. I'm not gonna lie to you. You can have like a Sentinel height type character in your game, or like an Abigail type character, and I'll overlook it. I'm not gonna complain about it. Also, these are the more important characters of the story. I feel like we've seen enough of each of the emperors that we can make movesets for each one of them. Even Shanks. I feel like we've seen a lot with Shanks, especially this year. This year and last year, I feel like we've seen enough of Shanks that you can make something up. That's all I'm gonna say. And then there's one more spot. One last spot. Final spot of a One Piece fighting game. Who do you think would be in that spot? Most of you would say Gold Roger, Mr. Pirate King himself, the Pirate King. But here's the thing. I've only seen this man do one attack. If this was the end of One Piece, I'm sure this list would look very different. I just haven't seen enough of Roger. I haven't seen I don't know what he does. I don't know what he does. I mean, I guess you could make up a moveset for Roger, but it's gonna be something crazy different by the time you actually see what he can do in the story, which is why I'm thinking for this final spot, I'm thinking large. All right, wait for it. Gear 5, an entirely separate Luffy. I'm sure you've seen in Dragon Ball games where they have multiple Gokus, right? I feel like Gear 5 has such a crazy, insane moveset that he needs to be like an entirely different character than the original Luffy. I want Gear 5 Luffy to have his own supers, his own specials. I want him to be bouncing off the walls, reflecting attacks, and grabbing the screen. I want him to do crazy stuff in this game. I feel like his attacks are only gonna go crazier the longer One Piece goes on, which is why I kind of want him last. So that way we see the full potential, as much potential as we can see with Gear 5 Luffy before we add him into the game. I really feel like he's gonna start breaking the fourth wall of One Piece by the time they end this story. And there you have it. One Piece fighting game roster made by J Strike, the smartest guy in the world. This is the roster if there was one. If a One Piece game gets announced, this is the roster right here. Definitively, objectively, this is the roster. And if you feel any different, comment below and let me know why I'm dumb and stupid. Let me know all the characters I left off and why I'm a moron. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, do all that stuff the YouTubers tell you to do at the end of their videos, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, blah, 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 blah. Click all my other videos and just watch those too, because I'm such a smart guy. You want to hear what I have to say about things, right? And I'll see y'all next time. Peace.